job ain't done yet.
Yeah. It's Saturday, deliver the job.
But listen, I appreciate the opportunity.
I really believe that Crawford's in the right place at the right time.
Crawford sharpened his skills for Canelo Alvarez, owning them through brutal sparring and intense preparation. The boxing world remained divided, whether Bud could defy the odds or if Canelo's natural size and power would ultimately prevail. Meanwhile, inside the gym, Crawford's teammate unleashed rapid body shots while Crawford stayed composed, absorbing, defending, and timing his counters with sharp precision. His patience and defensive control highlighted his calm approach under pressure.
There you go, Bernie. There you go, Bernie. Drop it with that, man. Kidney shot, Bernie. There you go.
Additionally, Crawford's reflexes were tested by his coach using long foam sticks. He slipped, dodged, and countered with blistering reactions, proving that even at super middleweight, his speed and boxing IQ remained intact. In training, Crawford expressed gratitude toward Turki Alalshikh, acknowledging the support while making it clear the work was unfinished. His focus never wavered, emphasizing that the real job would be delivered on fight night.
Hey, I appreciate you. Everything that you done for me. You and Riyadh City.
You must
The job ain't done
return
yet.
it. Yeah.
Job ain't done yet.
Yeah.
But
It's
listen,
Saturday, deliver the job.
but listen, I appreciate the opportunity.
No retirement.
Let's get it. Yeah.
According to the weight concept, Crawford's mentality, work ethic, and experience placed him above the rest. Although leaning toward Canelo as the favorite, the analysis noted Crawford's physical transformation as undeniable proof of how seriously he was taking the challenge at 168.
I can guarantee you that as far as his mentality, as far as his work ethic, as far as his skill, as far as his experience, Terence better than all of them. Point blank, period. So it will be a new test for Canelo as well. But I will admit, as much as I think Canelo's going to win this fight, this picture in a vacuum, it's not just about all the muscles and chiseled and everything else from Terence Crawford. It shows me how serious he took putting on the weight, which in turn shows me how serious he is taking this fight.
On the other hand, former world champion Duke McKenzie said that he's leaning toward Terence Crawford over Canelo Alvarez. He explained that since the tainted meat controversy, Canelo's recent 5 opponents have looked ordinary and nowhere near Crawford's level. In contrast, Crawford has consistently proven himself against top-level fighters. McKenzie believed Crawford's skills and form give him the edge in this matchup.
I said it from the outset, I'm going Crawford. You know, as much as I like Canelo, but Canelo, you know, over the years, when you look, since he's been off the mad cow meat, right? You look at his last 5 fights, he's boxed ordinary fighters, you know. And they're not in the same league. They're really not in the same league.
Moreover, McKenzie highlighted the confidence that comes with an undisputed status. While Canelo has experienced that status before, Crawford carries it now, and it showed in how he speaks and fights. He added that this moment feels like a true changing of the guard, with Crawford being in the perfect position to take over.
When you talk about undisputed and you've got all 4 belts, you've got a different air of confidence about you. So when you look at Crawford speaking, and Canelo, he talks with a lot of confidence. He's been undisputed before. But I think there's a changing of the guard now. I really believe that Crawford's in the right place at the right time. Sure, he's older than Canelo.
From AM Sports Media's perspective, Roy Jones Jr. has been openly supportive of Terence Crawford, likely because he saw similarities between them. However, they noted that Jones' recent comments contradict his earlier stance. He once claimed Crawford had 6 ways to win, but now he seems to be shifting his position, which comes across as inconsistent.
But I'm going to focus on Roy Jones, because Roy Jones has been adamant about Terence Crawford because I think he sees a lot of himself in Terence Crawford. And I want to react to what he said as well, because what he said to me personally, it contradicts as well. Not only is he changing stances a little bit, but he's also contradicting.
If he doesn't fight the one way that he can only fight to win it, Terence Crawford has 6 ways he can win it. And my money will go on the man who has 6 ways to win it over the man who has 1 way of winning.
Meanwhile, Adi Oladipo emphasized belief in Crawford's chances. Although admitting the fight lacked the same buzz as other blockbuster events, he firmly stated he could not envision Crawford losing, promising further breakdowns and his analysis would win.
Let's talk Canelo Crawford. We are just over a week out, and doesn't feel like we are. Feels like we're about a month out, if I'm honest with you. It's been billed as the biggest fight of the century. Some are saying the biggest fight of all time. Let's calm down, people. let's breathe a little bit. It's a big fight.
Similarly, Adam Smith predicted that Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez, noting that Canelo is entering the later stage of his career, while Crawford remains unbeaten. He emphasized Crawford's speed, ring IQ, and experience as deciding factors, adding that if Crawford stays sharp, he has the chance to win and make a major global statement.
To see, I think Terence Crawford beats Canelo, and I think that it's going to be his coming out party. I'd love to be there, and Canelo, of course, an all-time great. A bit of both. I think Canelo is approaching 70 fights. He's been beaten before. Crawford remains undefeated. I think that the jump up is big, but I think he's got the speed, the IQ, the experience, the know-how to be able to handle it. If he's switched on for every minute of every round, I think he wins, and I think he announces himself to the world on Netflix.
Furthermore, Terence Crawford's main sparring partner, Lester Martinez, gave his take on the fight, warning that while Canelo is incredibly tough and respected, Crawford is prepared to win one way or another. He admitted it won't be easy for either fighter, but pointed to Crawford's experience, preparation, and current form as the difference maker. In his view, Crawford will come out on top even at 168 pounds.
Canelo es una persona que no se le ha visto que lo puede noquear, pero Crawford va a ganar de una u otra manera. Sí, es mi opinión. Aparte de ser compañeros de equipo, sé que Canelo es alguien muy cabrón, él es uno de los mejores libra por libra también. Respeto eso y muchos boxeadores dicen que él es genial, pero también saben de la capacidad de Crawford. Entonces, por supuesto que yo espero y sé que va a ganar Crawford por su preparación, por la experiencia, por cómo está, pero no la tiene nada fácil. Igual de Canelo, ¿no? Muchas personas que van a él dicen que va a ganar, pero que no la tiene fácil también. Okay. No la tiene fácil y por supuesto, un Terence Crawford ganando en las 168 libras.
Veteran analyst Dan Rafael added that the matchup was historic because it featured two all-time greats. Crawford is moving up in weight to challenge the undisputed champion, which would make it risky but exciting. Rafael believed that mutual respect would push them to bring their absolute best, raising the magnitude of the fight.
It's a big event. It's probably the biggest event of the year in boxing. They're both great fighters. They're both Hall of Famers in waiting. As a boxing fan, I'm thrilled because it's a very fascinating matchup with two all-time greats. With the obviously caveat that you got Terence Crawford moving up two weight classes to see what he can do against the undisputed champ. Neither guy looked good in their last fight, but I suspect they're going to be a lot more into this fight. You know who you got in front of you in September, and Crawford's saying, I'm fighting the great Canelo Alvarez. Canelo's like, I'm fighting the 4-division champ, pound-for-pound type guy, and Crawford that's never lost. I better be really prepared. So I'm hopeful that aspect that they're really tuned in will make it a bigger and better fight.
Spencer Oliver also praised Crawford's versatility, noting his ability smart and skillful fighter who did not take unnecessary risks. He fights equally well in both stances, which makes him unpredictable. On top of that, his powerful punches deliver a knockout.
Terence Crawford isn't that guy to sit in the pocket. He's a smart operator, a smooth operator with a better boxing IQ than Canelo Alvarez. He switches effortlessly between orthodox and southpaw, boxes as well either way. He's a spiteful puncher with 31 of his 40 victories coming inside the distance.
However, Claressa Shields also shared his thoughts that Canelo sometimes doesn't give his best every fight, while Crawford always brings intensity and skill. She praised Crawford's defense, offense, and overall ability, and believed the weight difference won't decide the outcome. Even though she respected Canelo as a legend, she picked Crawford to win because she looked at him as the better fighter.
I feel like Canelo has he shows up when he wants to show up, but I think that Terence Crawford is a dog. I think that he's a great fighter. He has good defense, good offense. The weight class may be a little challenging, but I don't think it'll be the decision maker of the fight. I think that Terence Crawford is the better fighter, but I think that Canelo is a legend. So I look forward to seeing the fight, and I'm going to pick Canelo. I'm going to pick Terence Crawford. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to pick Terence Crawford to win.
Still, not all predictions lean Crawford's way. Joe Vargas respected Crawford's accomplishments but leaned toward Canelo. He respected Crawford's skills and achievements but felt moving up in weight might be too much for him. Vargas thought Canelo's fundamentals and small details gave him the edge, and the outcome would really depend on what game plan Crawford brings.
Oh man, that's a hard one, bro. I've been going back and forth in my mind on that one. But this is the first time I pick it. I'm going to go with Canelo on this one.
And why is that?
They're both great at what they do. I'm going against Maggie. I heard everything she said right now. She's right on the money on all that stuff, but Crawford has done a lot of great things at a smaller weight. You know, that jump is I don't know if it's reachable for him. If anybody can do it, it's him, and I'm contradicting myself. I just don't see it happening, you know. Could it happen? Yeah, it's boxing. But I just think Canelo's too good at the little things. And what's Crawford's game plan going to be? You know, that's what's going to define the fight to me.
Similarly, David Benavides stressed that if anyone can beat Canelo, it's Crawford because of his high boxing IQ and experience. But he also pointed out that moving up 2 more weight classes is a huge challenge, and in the end, he left the fight as one only the ring could answer.
I think he does, bro. I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Bud, his IQ, and his experience will definitely help him through. It's just that, you know what I mean? He's going up 2 other weight classes when he had just went up to 154, so we'll see what happens.
From Andre Wart's perspective, the challenge of facing a bigger man was immense. Even when punches don't land clean, the size and power can wear you down. But he explained that Crawford can overcome this by not fearing the bigger man, relying only on stamina, hidden strength, and enough punching power to gain respect. If Crawford stays relentless and keeps applying pressure, he could tire Canelo out and bring the fight to even terms, giving him a real path to victory.
I done been in there with heavyweights in this ring. You can block 3 punches. Boom, 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 bam. You gotta get yourself together. He ain't even laying clean. But he's such a big, strong man that you feel it. Boom. My elbow. Boom. He half caught me on my liver, half caught me on my elbow. Man, you gotta deal with that. You gotta deal with that. So, but what works for me is the fact that I'm not afraid of a bigger man. My stamina, physically stronger than what meets the eye, and I'm hitting hard enough to get respect. And then I just keep coming, And then you start to see like we're even, then the big guy starts to wear down. That's what's always benefiting in the Olympics.
Meanwhile, Robert Garcia viewed the matchup as one fueled by hunger. Both fighters were motivated by legacy and money, which in his opinion guaranteed fireworks.
I definitely believe it will be fight of the night. Both fighters, like you said, you know, they're hungry to make that statement, to step it to the next level. That both know the winner will get huge fights, big paydays. So definitely going to be the fight of the night.
Garcia also analyzed the risks on paper. Canelo should win because he's naturally bigger, stronger, and can hurt Crawford if he lands clean. Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes and didn't look great at 154, so there are question marks. Still, Garcia believed Crawford's speed, skill, and ring IQ give him a real chance. If he fights a perfect fight, he could win by decision. But he admitted it's very risky and would still favor Canelo overall.
On paper, Canelo should win. Canelo's bigger and stronger. And if Canelo lands good punches, I think Canelo could hurt Crawford. Crawford's, you know, first time in that division and jumping 2 divisions where he only had 1 fight at 154 and didn't look his best either. So there's a lot of questions, you know, about that, and that's why a lot of people think Canelo is going to knock out Crawford, but I'm probably one of the only ones that I do give Crawford a chance. Yeah. I think Crawford could pull it off. Crawford is very talented. He's very fast. He's very smart in the ring. So I think a perfect fight, Crawford could pull off a decision.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think he could win a decision. I don't pick him. You know, I wouldn't put my money on him winning because it's a very dangerous, risky fight, especially with Canelo being so strong.
Paulie Malignaggi offered a blunt view suggesting that Canelo has declined with age and stayed champion by avoiding the toughest challengers at this weight. From a pure boxing skill standpoint, Paulie thinks Crawford is much better. Still, weight classes exist for a reason. Canelo is naturally bigger, stronger, and a dangerous body puncher, which keeps the fight competitive.
It's interesting because I think that the only dynamic that makes this fight competitive, in my opinion, is the difference in weight class. I think Canelo has been, for a while, a diminishing fighter. Call it age, call it whatever other things you want to call it. But I just think that, you know, the only reason he's even still around at this level is because he's avoided his top contenders in his weight class, so he's been able to still remain champion at that weight class. And now, being champion at that weight class, it has sort of brought up this big opportunity to fight a smaller, excellent world champion in Terence Crawford. So I think when it comes to the levels of boxing, just straight from boxing perspective, I think Crawford is head and shoulders above Canelo. But, you know, they do make weight classes for a reason. Canelo is still very strong. He's a good body puncher, and he's a bigger guy naturally.
Canelo's sparring partner, Sean Hemphill, gave the champion's side. Described the matchup as tough, pointing out Canelo's durability, experience, and proven track record, and for Crawford to win, Hemphill suggested he would need to fight smart, move consistently and constantly, and avoid letting Canelo's size and pressure dictate the pace.
It's a great fight. I keep going back and forth on it. One day I feel like Bud could get him. Then I go back and I'm like, I don't know. Canelo got a hell of a chin. And he got a lot of experience. He's been in there with so many different great fighters. So I might have to just watch this one play out. It's going to be a great fight.
If Bud is going to beat Canelo, how does he negate the physical advantages that Saul will have from your point of view?
If Crawford beats Canelo,
what does he have to do to beat Canelo to negate those physical advantages, the size, the weight?
Yeah, he's going to have to box. He's going to have to be smart, moving, not just sit in one spot and let Canelo pressure him and break him down.
Looking toward the future, Chris Eubank Jr. made clear his own ambitions, stating he wanted a major fight in 2026 against either Canelo or Crawford, depending on the outcome. His focus remained on chasing the sport's biggest names, and this matchup would decide who became the top target.
It's a big fight. It's a big fight, and it's a fight that I'm looking at closely because after I dispatch of Conor Benn for the second time, either one of those two men, in Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, I would love to share the ring with 2026.
So what you're saying is you've got your eyes on Canelo. Is that a fight that you really want to happen?
Absolutely. You know, I'm here to fight the big names. I want the biggest fights. I want the fights that the fans want to see. And Canelo Alvarez is the name in the sport right now. If Crawford wins, then he's the name in the sport, and I would want to take him on. So I'll be watching closely.
As fight night approaches, Terence Crawford looks locked in, sharpening his reflexes, tightening his defense, and throwing vicious jabs with bad intentions. Across the ring, Canelo Alvarez brings size, power, and championship experience that has broken many before him. The experts remain split, the fans remain divided, and the anticipation only grows. The question is clear: will Crawford's speed, skill, and iron mentality be enough to shock the world at 168, or will Canelo's power and proven greatness remind everyone why he's still the king? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Final Camp updates and fight breakdowns.